What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talk of the Tundra, your Green Bay Packers podcast that is a proud partner of the Eurostat Podcast Network and the Blue Wire family. As always, I am your host, Numac, coming to you guys live on YouTube on the Packers GSPN Talk of the Tundra YouTube channel. Appreciate all of you tuning in. Packers beat the Commanders 27-18, and we're here to talk about all of that with my good buddy Jordan Tusky here. Jordan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. We are talking about the Green Bay Packers. Just they're great. They're great. Call them the Great Bay Packers because they're really doing good.
They are doing quite well. 2-0 to start the season. I said in our preview pod that the that 2-0 feels a lot better than 1-1, especially given the context of who your opponents were in these first two games. Two Super Bowl contenders in the Lions and the Washington Commanders. They take care of business handedly each time. Like it just a really great set of games, especially on short rest for the Packers to come in at home, take control of the game in the first half. Matt LaFleur said it coming out of halftime. They should have had uh, a lot more points than they did, but they end up winning the game 27-18. A game that never really felt out of hand. When it got close to 17-10, we were kind of holding our breath, but then the Packers go down, score a touchdown, and kind of put the game not necessarily on ice, but really kind of put it away out of stressful conditions, I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a misleading final score line.
Yep, just like
However,
just like last week.
just like last week, I think just like last week, we could also say there was a lot of meat on the bone,
Yep.
but the core of a dominating performance is still there. And obviously, that is led by uh, um, another remarkable defensive performance. Like we'll get into individual players, but really, I think despite letting up a true non-garbage time touchdown this week, two in fact, um, it was still pretty locked in for I would say the first 3.5 quarters.
For sure. For sure. Especially for the defense. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's two games in a row. They don't allow touchdown until the fourth quarter. Like, that's just, if you can operate that the entire season, you're going to be hoisting that trophy at the end of the year, so long as the offense takes care of the ball, which they have done uh, through two games so far. So I think, honestly, Jordan, we ought to start with the defense because, again, they were the story of the game. Do you want to start with Keyshawn Nixon? Because, golly, what a game from Keyshawn.
Yeah, I mean it's his best game as a pro. Um, Talked a lot. I mean, what was it last week that Matt, or was it earlier this week? I'm forgetting the timing. Um, but had an article with Matt Schneeman, kind of like an exclusive sit down. Talked up about the we know the party line from Packers fans of wanting a CB1, moving on from Jair, the secondary room. To be honest, and it's not like Keyshawn Nixon will ever listen to this, but we were also part of this party line. Yeah, I mean, like we've you know, it's just
We've
a
said our
matter
piece
of
that he wasn't a true cornerback one. He played slot. I like the majority of his time here, outside of being a kick return specialist, and he just wasn't a guy we saw as being a lockdown corner. And through two games, he's doing pretty darn well. He's
yeah.
doing pretty darn well. You can't really ask too much of him through two games. Like he had the I think it was third down. I'm not sure which play it was or which down it was in the first half, but when Noah
It was
Brown,
third down. I know exactly what you're
yeah,
talking about.
Noah Brown, or Daimi Brown,
Noah.
Noah. Damn. Catches the ball on a breaking route towards the sideline. A play that Keyshawn probably did get away with a little bit of a hold on, but he comes out of it, catches the ball, and Keyshawn comes through and just punches it right out to force fourth down. Like, and he had so many good plays in that where he's just suffocating his receiver. And I mean, I came away very, very impressed with Keyshawn. Like, there was there was that one. There was the one down the sideline where I think it was Noah Brown again goes up and tries to catch it and can't come down with it. And Keyshawn's right there in coverage, stuck to him pretty darn close, like playing face coverage essentially. So, I mean, just what a game! What a game from Keyshawn. I'm hard pressed to say that it's his best game as the Packer because the Chiefs game exists from
Mm,
last year, but it's pretty high up there for him for all time games for him.
I think the difference is the our expectations for Keyshawn Nixon have changed literally every year.
Always.
The first year that he was in Green Bay, 22 season, specialist, his kick return touchdown, kind of the pinnacle of this late season comeback that would go for naught because they lost to the Lions in the last playoff or game of the year. That would have, if they had won, they'd gone in the playoffs. Following year, I believe they re-signed him to like a small deal, and then
Is that the
we
3 year
don't.
deal?
Yeah, it might have been mixing the timeline up, but it's kind of like okay, we got a return specialist back. We're not going to let him go, and then think of him as like growing into stature as a slot corner and just the depth piece in the secondary. That evolves into being the primary slot corner going into last season. Jair's, we talked about it endlessly. His injuries and then eventual, um, you know, fading away of within his time in Green Bay open up the door for him to take over as the outside corner. And I think the biggest thing is that we've always highlighted as outside corner. What it's not CB1, but it's more of like who's going to take away outside wide receivers? Who's going to be the boundary guy? Like a lot of the plays that he was making against tonight, like it was against Noah Brown, I think rookie wide receiver Jalen Lane. Like he 5 pass breakups are
Mm-hmm.
nothing to sneeze at. I think the thing with Keyshawn is that even if he's not going against like Terry McLaurin or Debo Samuel, that is on the defensive coaching staff to game plan it out and how they're going to look to take away the biggest weapons on the opposing offense.
Mm-hmm.
The thing for me with Keyshawn is that his ball skills are really, really good.
Really good.
And you mentioned the Chiefs game. It would be, I would say, the second best game that he's had. He obviously had an interception. Picking off Patrick Mahomes is no easy feat in itself. But he just like he can make up plays. I mean, there was one pass breakup tonight where he wasn't even tracking the ball. His head is towards the receiver as the receiver's fading away towards the sideline, and he can still like you just have that what is it, the preternatural like ability of like
Yeah.
reading someone's face, knowing where the angle of the ball is dropping into where it's going, and he just knows how to make his even if it's going like this, putting up your hand, like he just has this kind of knack for getting in the way of whether it's bad beats or not being in the right like not even having his body turned to where to see where the ball is going. He kind of knows how to do that. And I think that to me is like a lot of things have changed in Green Bay since he's come here, certainly. But it's great to see him evolve into what tonight was. And like I think tonight he's indicative of probably the growing relief that a lot of Packers fans are starting to feel with the secondary is that I listen to the Mina Kimes show and national NFL pods. If there's one weakness that we keep talking about, it's a secondary.
Right.
And performances like tonight, like the pass rush is still getting there. We'll get to it, but the secondary was doing a lot of things to make plays, and that's that's huge. That's huge moving forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is from Ryan Fowler. Keyshawn Nixon and Carrington Valentine tonight. 10 targets against, 2 catches, and 16 passing yards allowed. Doesn't get much better than that. No, no, it doesn't, Ryan. Like, that's an incredible stat and something I don't think either of us expected coming into the season from these DBs, especially against pass catchers like Terry McLaurin and Debo Samuel and Zach Ertz. Like, these aren't guys that are scrubs. These are real players. And like obviously Terry McLaurin starting off slow just for the sole purpose of uh not having went through camp, but doesn't mean he's not a good player. And so I'm blown away by these guys. blown away by these guys. And, and unless you have anything else on the two of them, we can transition to maybe why these guys are playing so well. Was this from
Well, I was
oh,
just gonna
oh,
say a
go ahead.
quick shout out to Nate Hobbs,
Yeah,
Packers debut. He had a defensive holding middle of the game, but had another one drive, critical drive. He made a good pass breakup. I think it looked solid. I thought he looked solid out there.
I thought he looked really, really good. He had yeah, the one I saw him a couple of times, but one play he for sure did very well on. This is from Matt Steeman on September 4th. Schneidman. I went back to my old ways. It's Schneidman. Uh, from Matt Schneidman. Micah Parsons says he's never not played with a Pro Bowl or All Pro cornerback. Quote, that should mean something to him. He said of his new teammates, I'm going to make them a lot of money. That ball's going to come out a whole lot quicker. And like you mentioned earlier, 5 PBUs for Keyshawn Nixon. Just an incredible game for him. But sticking with the defense, the front man. We have to talk about it every. Like, if we have to talk about the front every single game, like it's gonna be a very fun season. Um, I'm gonna start with uh, a guy that you guys have heard me talk about forever on this pod. And that's Devonte Wyatt. Devonte Wyatt has been all over, man. Like he's really coming into his own and showcasing what he's meant to be as a first round pick on that line. He had a really nice game throughout. Like he just played well throughout the game. But as the game got deeper, like it might have been like O line fatigue too. But on that final drive, or either the second to last drive or the final drive, uh, Devonte Wyatt gets his arms up for a batted ball, falls incomplete, and the next play, he pushes the commander center back right into Jayden Daniels' lap. Like it's incredible. Like he's got stronger as the game went. Like, he's just juiced, and so he finishes the game with a sack and 2 tackles, along with 2 passes deflected and 2 QB hits. So I mean, it's like shout out Devonte Wyatt, man. He's really coming into his own, and I think he's really uh blossoming into the player we thought he'd be midway through last year before he got hurt. Like he was really coming into his own last year, cycling out with Kenny Clark and TJ Slayton and such before he injures his ankle. And now he's really picking up where he left off and showcasing why he deserves to be the starter.
Yeah, the defensive line looked very solid yet again. Devontae Wyatt making plays at the line of scrimmage. Um, I thought Colby Wooden had some good plays too, run stuffs. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, look at what I believe the Lions finished with 51 rushing yards last week, and
49.
the Commanders 49. Commanders finished with 51 this week. And that's including bottling up Jayden Daniels for 17 rushing yards, which I'll have to look this up. I was looking up earlier.
We'll definitely talk about the linebackers too because
Yeah,
holy moly.
it was just like there's like you could just talk about like anything with the defense, and you just be like, we're just gushing about like how
Uh-huh.
lockstep everything is. It's insane. It really is insane.
It we haven't seen juice like this from the defensive line in quite some time, Jordan. Like I
Yes.
don't know the last like maybe this is my short-term memory and my year-to-year memory being off, but like the last guy outside of Kenny Clark that I can think of as like a force in the middle, is it Mike Daniels from like the mid tens?
Mike Daniels definitely had some moments.
It's like he like great player, like it's him, it's BJ Raji, like those are like the staple guys
Brady
inside
Jackson.
from going way back, right?
That was not a good year though. It did not end well that year.
Right.
I'm looking this up. Jayden Daniels finished with the fewest rushing yards
Of his
he's
career.
had. Actually, no, third fewest. Excuse me, second fewest.
You
This
got
is
it?
why we're doing it live. No, he had missed. He went out in one game, so I was kind of like
Ah,
shooing that away. But yeah,
got it.
the previous low that he had was 5 against the Steelers in a game last year, and then it was 18. But yeah, 17 yards for him. Uh, just incredible like pocket presence that he had when things were falling around him. It pretty much was turning into by the end of the game that he was just trying to like survive and be upright. I mean, there was some times where he was hobbling. I know Rob Domofsky shared that let me read this properly. Um, let's go. Packers pressured Jayden Daniels on 24 of his 52 dropbacks. That's 46%. The highest pressure percentage he has faced in a game in his career. He was pressured on just 22% of dropbacks last week per ESPN research.
That's that's a crazy stat, man.
Yeah.
That's that's just absurd. And I think like you could notice it too. I said it in our Discord midway through the game that the front had Jayden Daniels like horrified, scared even, because there was a play where Jayden Daniels is in the pocket, and I think Edge comes on a stunt towards the left side of the line. It might have been Edge. I forget who it was. It was someone flying in with some intent,
Yeah.
and the literal Red Sea of linemen part on the right side, and he has a lane just to take off and go. Like he could have ran 15, 20 yards. It was a huge opening that he could have scampered for. But he had to get it out so quickly that he didn't have a decision to make. He just had to get rid of it. Like I think if he maybe he's year 3, year 4, year 5, he takes it and goes. But like as a sophomore QB, still very talented, facing a pass rush that's getting home this fast, he had to make a decision. That decision was to just get rid of it.
Yeah. I don't think he was comfortable. I mean, it
I
was
don't think it was
very
comfortable at
seldom.
all.
He was not comfortable. I think the
24 to
sense,
42.
yeah,
That's
that's not
crazy.
great.
That's crazy.
That's not great. Um, it was just bottling him up the way that they did, and always like it wouldn't be the classic pocket crashes quarterback, kind of basically just like Heinz Ward's his way, like Dark Knight Rises
Hmm.
through the chaos and then breaks through. Like it wasn't like that. Like there's always numbers. That's the thing with this defense right now. Guys are flying. They're
Dude, they're
swarming.
flying and they're flying to the ball. Like
And it's
oh my God.
it's not just pass rush, it's the second level when things break down or if plays are getting extended. Like we'd probably have to go through the like play by play, but like I would probably guess like 5 to 7 plays the Commanders had today were like over 10 yards or 15 yards. Like there just wasn't a lot of like big plays to the level of like what would be deemed explosive. But I think to me, it's not just the fact that they have a pass rush that is literally at God tier right now. It is also like, oh, your front four doesn't get to Jayden Daniels. Well, here comes Edgerrin Cooper shot out of a cannon, or even Quay Walker like running like a zombie in like I don't know, The Walking Dead or like something just like on steroid like
A Left for
that.
Dead zombie.
Everybody's just yeah. Oh yeah,
A Left for Dead zombie.
yeah. A boomer, a boomer. Is that one? No, that's The Last of Us, right? Am I
I
right?
think Boomer's Left for Dead. I forget.
Left for Dead.
That
Well,
sucks.
that's what this Commanders offense was left for.
It was. It was. But like we talked about in our preview pod, just how important it was for the linebackers Quay and Edgerrin Cooper to keep Jayden Daniels in check, and they did
Yeah.
that fantastic tonight. Like, uh, Quay had a really good game besides letting up that Zach Ertz touchdown where he gets just juked and falls down. That happens. That's football. Like I'm not concerned whatsoever. But
Yeah.
other than that, man, like I just a guy playing with his ears pinned back, ready to run to the ball. Edgerrin Cooper all over tonight in the backfield, making tackles out on the edge. I think he had a tackle in coverage against Zach Ertz on either the second to last drive or the last drive of the game. Like, just incredible stuff from both backers tonight. Incredible stuff.
Yeah. I mean, is it? Can we do like a running tally of who will be but not that this is the end all be all, but like Edner Cooper again leads the team in tackles.
Yeah.
It should be as no surprise. I think that's going to be happening maybe every game if he's healthy this year. Like that, he's just so hyperactive. And the biggest thing with him, and you will love this. I know
Okay.
your love of this.
Okay.
When he wraps up guys,
Oh yeah, God.
they don't get more inches.
Nope.
He sends them back. That is a big thing with this team. The I just think fundamentally a lot of things are just a lot more sound. They're playing with such verve and intensity, but it's not like just flying by the seat of your pants. Like it
Hmm.
is kind of this controlled chaos that like
It's
defenses.
controlled anger. He runs around like flying trying to hit somebody.
Yeah, like it is this whole how everything's going right now. You just don't want anything to ruin it. You don't want anything to ruin or take one piece away and kind of thing like that. Like I just think there's just everything is working so well with this defense that it's like just this orchestra that everybody's playing their part. They have their role. And I mean, we'll move on to like other players, but like you just look at the guys that are just showing up on the stat sheet, and you could make a case for like 10 to 15 guys that had like, oh, I remember that play. That's
Yeah.
that moment. That's
Yeah.
that moment. It doesn't matter if they're playing 59 snaps on the night or if they're playing seven.
Hmm. I think part of it too is like you look at the number of tackles everybody had. Like there was a lot of guys
Yeah.
involved in getting tackles tonight, and that's part of like the swarming defense that Jeff Hafley is coaching right now. I think that's like the biggest thing that I've enjoyed about watching the defense so far is that there's always shirts around. Like there's always
Yeah.
Packers going to the ball. Team tackling limits yards after catch, limits yards after contact on rushing plays, and just really hypes everybody up. Like if you're as a team flying to a guy and there's eight guys trying to tackle one guy, like that gets everybody amped up and excited to make a play. And
Yep.
like it's just awesome. Like you said, Edge had 10 tackles, Quay had 8, Javon Bullard had another great game. He had 5 tackles. And I'm not trying to pick on you, but like you were low on Javon Bullard coming in the season. I think he's exceeded expectations already.
I don't know. I said my most improved or breakout player. I was gonna say I'm gonna eat crow that I was down on him coming out of last year.
Yeah,
He was
he's been really really good.
excellent.
Like I
I think
go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think one probably the most underrated part of keeping Jayden Daniels from running loose tonight. Like they just had the front four obviously getting after him, linebackers running after him, but having that extra guy in the box or near the line of scrimmage. They were doing with Xavier McKinney depending on matchups too, but like that's 7, 8 guys that you're always gonna have to account for within like a 10-yard, 15-yard radius. Yeah, I mean, like that's, and I don't know. I just think Javon Bullard is going to be, he's already kind of emerging as this unsung hero on a very good defense right now. That there's a lot of people that could be making the case for an unsung hero because Micah Parsons is going to take up the shine.
He is. Before we get to Micah Parsons, uh, I think like the best thing about not the best thing, but one of the great things about Javon Bullard is he, like the rest of these cornerbacks, really know how to diagnose screens. Like
Yes.
they're so good. I think Kirk Herbstreit commented on it during the game, but Javon Bullard on a screen, I don't know who caught it, but on a screen, sheds the block, gets in, and makes the receiver uh changes direction. Doesn't
I think it
matter.
was Debo.
I think it was Debo.
Yep. I'm
Either
looking at it right now. Yep.
either changes direction or make a move just to let the other team, other guys, team tackling here, get to the ball and limit to a short gain. Like that was something that you see from like the best corners. If they can get around their blocker on the outside on a screen, it just blows up the play. Like if you can get behind the line of scrimmage on a screen like that, it's like the best thing you can do as a corner, even if you don't make the tackle because of how many shirts are flying toward the ball. Someone's getting there right after you, even if you don't make the make the tackle right away. So
Agreed.
let's get to to Micah Parsons because golly, is it has it been a lot of fun. Jordan, I'm not sure if you've seen this graph yet, but it's a fun graph I'm about to show you.
Yes.
Micah Parsons generated a team high 8 pressures and a half a sack on 37 pass rushes in his second game with the Packers. Do you see this?
That to me looks like a 4-year-old scribbled on a what is those? Oh my God, I know the name of it. It's the back of my head. It's like where it's like a magnetic drawing
Etch a
pad.
sketch.
You
Oh, oh,
kind of
not like an Etch a sketch, but not Etch a sketch. I know what you're
yes,
talking about.
yeah, and yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
Or someone's been playing in Microsoft Paint because that doesn't look real right there. That
no,
doesn't look real.
no. Uh, that's that's insane. Listener, if you're listening to the pod, not watching on YouTube, the go check out Next Gen Stats, the graph of Micah Parsons pressures. It's incredible. Like
Yeah.
it. Imagine when he's healthy, Jordan. Imagine when he's healthy. He's still limited in snaps.
Well, well, let's go to that point right now. Matt Schneidman. Michael Parsons said it's pissing him off being on a snap count, and the quote is, "Can't hold a dog back forever."
No, you can't
No.
because holy shit,
Yeah.
it it's just incredible. Again, another great game from him. Like he had the half sack, but he had a chance to get a couple more um, that just Jayden Daniels stepped away from or just evaded for someone else to get it. But I mean, you can just tell how much he brings to this defense, and even against a running quarterback like Jayden Daniels, he's getting there too fast, and the Commanders' offensive line couldn't do anything about it. Uh,
No.
I forget the fella's name who is their rookie right tackle, but
Josh Connerly.
oh, pour one out for him, man.
Brr.
I mean, like it. He's a rookie. You can't really expect too much against Micah Parsons, but he got he got a lesson in what an NFL pass rush looks like tonight. Because, geez Louise,
He's probably hoping, or he's thankful that he doesn't see Michael Parsons two
twice a
times a
year,
year. Yeah.
right? He goes, man,
Instead of now it's maybe 2 to 3 times a year, or 2 to 3 years in between.
yeah, possibly more given, just
Yeah.
maybe. Uh, you know what? He's probably like the fans at Lambeau here yelling "Thank you, Jerry" to Micah Parsons during the post game press conference out with the TNF guys.
Insane.
Thank you, Jerry Chance. That's diabolical.
I, f- I
Diabolical.
feel like that's gonna be a theme this year,
I mean, no,
right?
I mean,
No.
100%. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry Jones. Just because, like, I mean, we could talk about literally every single player on this defense. Like
Yeah.
Lucas Van Ness, another good game being seen all across. He had the one offsides penalty. Who cares? Like, it's a bad penalty, of course, but you'll have those. Um, but in the
Sean Gary.
Rashawn Gary with a sack and like making more plays, like oh my god, I continue to gush over this front seven because it's so good, because it's so good, Jordan.
It's really good. Kingsley and Egbari had a sack today,
Mm,
or right?
I think so.
No, he had like a rush that he got to Daniels that would have been a sack.
Oh
That
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Parsons, Gary, Luis Van Ness, Devontae Wyatt, and Egbari I mentioned.
Brooks and Wooden we haven't talked about.
Brooks and Wooden. Yeah, like it's so. I think you saw Ed Policy and Brady Gutekunst late in the game,
Looking like
high
supervillains.
on their perch, just looking above the yes, everything's working.
Everything's coming together.
Working. Yeah, it's a long season. We're very high on our horse right now. Rightfully so. But like this defense is insane. It is the margin for error has grown so much that
Hmm.
a game in which they win 27-18, which I think if you polled 10 people, 9 out of 10 would say that was not a 27-18 game. The stats even reflect that was
Yeah.
not a 27-18 game. However, because the defense is so overwhelming and is so hard to score on, that's the authorities trying to contain the Packers defense right now, as you see, um, or hear. But it it is just remarkable to see. I think it's just more of like in our Discord, I'm all over the place. Early in the game, early in the game, they're forcing three and outs, and I was just like, it's hard to imagine how good this defense would have been without Micah Parsons. I think we were all pretty high on it, even though that we knew that they had limitations, yada yada yada. I just think two things both can be true. Of this defense was ascending and could have been as good as we're seeing right now. Maybe not as good as we're seeing right now. But then the Micah Parsons trade happens, and then it's just everything falls into place. Like it is just like you can put him all over the line, you can put him on the edge, like make Josh Connerly look at him like he's freaking Freddy Krueger in his nightmare fueled dreams.
Like Michael Myers
And
stalking him down slowly,
yeah,
but it's not.
it's insane. No, he's an edge rusher, but he'll make your life living hell. Like, but I just think it that's where everything has just fallen into a place that like you just don't want one puzzle piece to get taken out and it shake it up and like how do you it's football, it's gonna happen. But we're praying like hell that doesn't happen right now.
Right. No, it's incredible. Um, there was something. Oh, Jacob Morley had a tweet post game. Jacob Morley of Packers Report. Instant reactions kind of thing, and he had a few points. One of them was QB doesn't need to win or doesn't need to be perfect to win big, and I think like that's the thing with this defense. The offense has had like a few drives in this game, like in these two games, where they just kind of look dull. Play calling isn't ideal. It just things fall apart, penalties bring them back, kind of thing. But it doesn't matter because against two really good offenses, this defense has proceeded to give up no touchdowns through the first three quarters of each game. It's incredible
Yeah.
stuff. It allows the team, the offense, to one get out to a lead like they have in these two games, as well as just keep the lead and play offense how they want to play. This team wants to run the ball, and they have had, I'd say, moderate success doing that so far. Game one against the Lions was okay. Tonight was okay too. I'm not concerned about it, but like they want to run the ball no matter what.
Yeah.
But they're allowed to do that because they're not playing from behind. They're playing with a 7 point double digit leads at times. And so it allows Matt LaFleur to keep his playbook all the way open. And so let's get to that offense and let's start with like the star of the game because it is Tucker Kraft. An absolutely impeccable game. Like I tweeted about it during the game that throughout the offseason, after last year's loss to the Eagles in the playoffs, Goody and Matt LaFleur talked about how they have to get Tucker Kraft more involved in the offense, that he is a blossoming tight end, that he needs to be more involved. And I said it on this pod multiple times in the offseason that I agree wholeheartedly that I hope it happens. I'm skeptical that it does, that I want him to be a feature of the offense.
We may have something breaking at this moment that may change your tune about that.
What is that?
Jayden Reed has broken his collarbone per Matt LaFleur.
Yeah,
He'll be going to IR per Ian Rappaport.
yeah,
They do expect him back at some point later in the season.
yeah. I figured that was kind of what was going to happen. Like I
Yeah.
not figured, but like
Is
way
either
the
that
way he
or
landed.
separated shoulder, like something kind of serious that would have at least be an extended absence.
Yeah. So if you guys remember, Aaron Rodgers broke his collarbone week one, I think. Week one back in 2014, I believe that was.
Yeah.
Out at least 2 months, I think. I think he came back for the last like month of the season, last four games or so. So expect him back by like Thanksgiving time, December-ish time.
Rappaport is saying 6 to 8 week injury, which would bring him back in November.
Yeah. So, but continue about Tucker Kraft. Like
Yes.
just a tight end that broke out last year that we could see had so much potential. He's putting guys in the dirt with stiff arms. He's making big plays like with yards after the catch. It's like he is a fantastic receiving tight end and he can block. And I was skeptical that they were actually going to make him a feature of the offense this this season for the sole purpose of like we just didn't know how this team was going to spread the ball around because they still continue to do that. But they are through 2 games, they're really targeting Tucker Kraft. He had 2 catches for on 4 targets for a touchdown and I think 20-ish yards in the game against Detroit. Tonight, he goes absolutely bonkers. 6 catches, 124 yards, and a touchdown, including a 57-yard catch on a beautiful play up the seam and a perfectly placed ball from Jordan Love, an easy pitch and catch. Like he, people better strap in because I think he's beginning to become that elite top 3 tight end in the league. Like I think this is the beginning of what could be an all pro season for Tucker Kraft.
Those are big words. Those are big
I mean,
expectations. I don't think you're misplaced
no.
because I think very much like the passing offense last year. Tucker Kraft, like Jaden Reed, the first half of the year was really good. Like the Rams game comes to mind. He has this big playability in him, and he's a red zone threat. He knows how to he knows how to lay out guys. I know he got beat up by Bobby Wagner
He did.
on a would be block.
He did.
But he has plenty of tools to be both serviceable in the blocking game and sell out the block to get a slip screen or like a fading out where there's just a bunch of space. There's open grass for him to just trample down Lambeau Field. And a lot of that tonight was those kind of plays. Like he just has that big playability that you want to see. And I think for me, it's very interesting to see the target share between these pass catchers that they have. Reed's injury is obviously going to affect that one way or the other. Matthew Golden, we didn't see too much outside of a couple deep shots. If
Dude.
anything,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was I was just gonna say the most work that we saw of him was like jet sweeps or behind the line of scrimmage work.
He wants to break one off so bad.
Oh yeah, he was
So
pissed
bad.
off that he didn't get
He
well
didn't get
one
on the jet sweep that he didn't get in. Or didn't get a
that
first down.
there
And
was
on the deep shot, he was slamming the ground. It wasn't
there
his
was
fault. Jordan Love
there's
overthrew the ball, but he's
yeah there
slamming the ground because
it
he's
would
so
have been the
bad.
touchdown on the first drive that Love's ball. I don't know that ball was trajectory super weird. I don't know if it was just because of the angle, but it looked like it kept lofting over and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden it just
it
died.
just died. Yeah.
And it was well, under his like route. And then there was the second one where it was like Golden's like past the 50. He's past his guy, and it just you can't connect on that. But
Yeah.
going back to Kraft, like he just poses a different problem that like I think there was even some interesting quotes from like Commanders players going into the game from Jeremy Fowler, just like he is getting the respect from other teams around the league. They know that what he's capable of. And outside of some bright moments for Luke Musgrave in quite some time,
He stayed on his feet.
he stayed on his feet. He got a first down. But it just like he has usurped Luke Musgrave in not just tight end one, but like the focal point of the offense. Like he is doing Luke Musgrave rookie year things, and then on top of that, doing like Jeremy Shockey level like stuff.
What a pull.
Yeah, get shocked. No, um, but yeah, like I really do think the sky is the limit with what he's capable of. Can he get to all pro level this year? I don't know. But tight end is a very top heavy position around this league. We thought 10 years ago when Gronk and a tight end who shall not be named were going to change the NFL forever. It's just it's the talent what
Nothing.
the cream rises to the crop, as they say. And so tight ends are just like beyond like Brock Bowers. Travis Kelsey's fading. I don't know if you've heard of that guy.
I have.
He's getting married.
Oh, good for him.
Good for him. His life is going to new heights, apparently. But sorry, Tucker Kraft, he's ascending.
Yeah, he's ascending, and I really hope it's it's it goes to where we want to go because Tucker Kraft is an just awesome tight end, and I'm just so happy, man. What a fun game. Uh, Jordan Love, another like again not fantastic. Actually, you know what? I will say fantastic game. 19 for 31, 292 and two touchdowns. Shut out the offensive line, man. Again, just all the time in the world. He does take two sacks. Um, one warranted's the wrong word, but like one legitimate sack.
He was holding on the ball for
Yeah,
quite some
but then
time.
one in the fourth quarter towards the end of the game that was just like
Oh
a
yeah,
gimme sack.
yeah.
And so, but two touchdowns. Should have been a third to Jayden Reed on that play that where he broke his collarbone, but Anthony Belton gets flagged for the holding.
Should have been
Like,
four.
probably should have been four. But like, dog, that ball to Jayden Reed was chef's kiss, man. It was so perfectly placed. Like, those are the things that don't show up in the stat sheet if you're not watching the game. That was an incredible ball. Like, thrown 40, 50 yards in the air to the pylon right there where
Yeah,
Jayden Reed needed to be to have only he could catch it, and he caught
it
it.
was
Like,
it
oh
was a
my
bucket
god,
drop.
Caleb Williams could never. And so like
Um,
let, let's
yeah.
let's talk Jayden Reed's injury briefly. Not ideal, but like I think the silver lining for this is twofold. One, it allows his foot to get better. Hopefully that can
One would
recover.
think.
One would think, right? Hopefully like he comes back perfectly healthy and that he's ready for a stretch run into February. I think the other part of this is that it takes away a body in front of Matthew Golden. And I think this like allows Matthew Golden to start getting downfield more. I worry a tiny bit, Jordan, a little tiny bit. They're using Matthew Golden like Christian Watson did in his first year, before he broke out, right? Like they are sending him on a couple deep shots down the field. He's getting stuff behind the line of scrimmage, but not a lot in the middle, not like actually running routes, which is what I think they need to do. And with Jayden Reed's injury, I think this allows Matthew Golden to step up into that role to have him start being a quote unquote real receiver and not a goal receiver or a gadget receiver.
Sounded like Richard Sherman out here.
No,
Joking. I'm
no.
joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I am not saying there needs to be a cornerback or a wide receiver one. I just think that
Is it going to be a problem or is it going to blow up?
I think it'll be just fine. And so
I
I'm
agree.
just hopeful that during this absence they can get him going as a down the field receiver in that 5 yard to 15 yard range. Yes, he's very fast. 4.29 40 is going to be very quick for a receiver. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean you just have to send him in a straight line down the field though.
No. I think a lot of crossing routes, some intermediary. I
Right.
mean, the kind of throw that he got his first catch on last week, the one that
Exactly. The
Love
out
held
route
on
towards
the
the
ball.
sideline.
Yeah, Love was holding on the ball a tad too long on that, but he still completed to Matthew Golden for his first catch. Yeah, the Reed injury, like, honestly, I think we all were kind of like literally on pins and needles of like, he's going to get hurt. We knew that he was going to get hurt, whether it was his foot or whether it was something like this, where um, he just, when he went down tonight, I was just like, it's not a relief, but like, I just felt like he was just like this injury waiting to happen. And I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to like just discount him for the rest of the year, but a broken collarbone that they're saying is going to be a 6 to 8 week injury, probably, who knows? Who knows? But knowing the timeline of, well, if you're on the mend with they've already been playing him with a Jones fracture. So it's obviously not bad enough to the point where, I mean, he was playing full speed, like yada, yada, yada. But like, if anything, it's like a stress. fracture kind of recovery or I guess process to
Us doctors.
yeah, look at Dr. David J. Chow that always pops up in every
That's right.
mention.
But no, like I think the thing is that playing with whatever foot injury he had is a risk
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that was fine through the first two games. And like I wouldn't say he was like we were waiting for this injury to happen. I think this is like something just it's a freak injury. You land on your weight and your defender's weight land on top of you. You're gonna break your collarbone. That's just how it happens. Like that just is going to happen. But I think the best part about it, even though it stinks, is that it gives
Yeah.
other guys like Matthew Golden a chance to see some more action on the field and have some start like have um a good breakout per se. Hopefully, my only like quote unquote worry is that now they have to mix in two receivers in 2 months when Christian Watson
Yeah.
comes back and Jayden Reed. I think that's gonna be a little bit difficult, but
Um,
for what it's worth, Malik Heath steps up in Jayden Reed's absence, has that awesome catch down the sideline.
yep.
What a catch!
Big block by him too on a the Savion Williams. We'll get to him. We'll
Yeah,
get to him. But I think he's going to be very valuable as a depth piece. He might not always have big plays, but you certainly need a wide receiver that's going to put his body on the line. And this is his third year in Green Bay. He's always just like this kind of dirty work kind of guy that like he loves blocking. He loves sealing off the edge, getting guys to run up the sidelines like that. So
hmm
great for him. We honestly, I don't think it would be a shock to see McCole Hardman be elevated from the practice squad at this
probably.
rate, depending on maybe not right away week 3, but we'll just see. We'll see how this evolves and how practice evolves, and obviously they'll have 10 days of rest before next game. But
Yeah, yeah. Um, let's talk about Savion Williams. He's got a lot of juice, man. He's got a lot of juice. The 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 direct snap to
oh
like
God, that was
to
awful.
run
I
out
was
outside. It's a wrinkle. It looked a lot better than the Josh Jacobs direct snap last week.
yeah,
So
or the Tucker Kraft. Tucker that was more like tush push,
right,
like
but like
but
that's a wrinkle to where if the defense isn't ready for it, that could be a big play if he does pitch it to Jordan Love and then throws it down the field. But like you saw that when Savion Williams took that snap, just Jordan Love being there, maybe it was never designed to be a throw. Jordan Love being there drew three defenders back to
yeah,
him. So
yeah,
he slips. The slip doesn't really matter much. He doesn't get.
still got like 15
He still got
yards.
15 yards, and if he doesn't slip, he gets like two more. There wasn't really a path to the end zone there, but he's got some juice, man. I want to see him do more of that stuff behind the line that they're doing with Matthew Golden. Just go to Savion Williams, kind of thing. Um, and just let him work. I really don't know why they haven't put him back returning kicks yet. Like that's kind of his thing, right? And so,
You mean punts? He is back there for
but
kicks.
yeah, for punts too. But like,
Yeah,
let's like quit throwing Keyshawn back there. He doesn't need to be back there as cornerback one. Like he doesn't need to be back there. Let put somebody else back there. Emmanuel Wilson, I think, returned a punt today, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
Kick.
A kick or a punt, whichever one it was.
Yeah.
But like they're throwing guys back there. I just don't have a big Keyshawn. Keyshawn's probably the best ad on the team. I don't care. As long as it's not Amari Rogers at this point. I'm, I'm happy.
Or A. Rogers. No. Yeah. I mean, Savion Williams had the most explosive run play tonight, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Um, I liked it. I liked it. He's got something there. Like he's going to be used in very interesting ways, and I mean, honestly too, like Emmanuel Wilson's been an afterthought in the running game. I don't think he's
I
had
don't think
any
he's
work
had
in the
I don't
backfield.
think he's had an attempt.
It's all been special teams.
I mean,
So
even
if Savion
Chris
Williams,
Brooks got
Chris
had three catches tonight,
Chris Brooks is essentially RB2 right now.
which is crazy. Like Stan, my standum for Emmanuel Wilson aside, Chris Brooks is playing like like a pretty solid running back too. His pass pro is so good. I think it was JT O'Sullivan on QB School. I watched the Jordan Love episode today from week 1. And he was gushing over like he's like this is the best pass protection from a running back he said he'd ever seen because he just communicates so well with the line that they are passing off defenders and letting Jordan Love have time to throw to Wicks in week 1. And like if that's what he's going to do and they have Savion Williams as like a guy to spell Josh Jacobs for runs, maybe he's not needed, which breaks my heart. Emmanuel Wilson's not needed, but like the pass pro is so good with Chris Brooks that it's hard not to play him. It's hard.
I mean, it's more of the passing downs. I mean, he really like what we thought about a couple years ago with AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones be on the field at the same time. We've seen two running back sets out there, and it can kind of work. Like I'm not saying it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly better than the previous example I just brought up. But yeah, Chris Brooks, I mean, he had like it's not even just pass protection. They had a 3rd and 19. It was after I think a holding penalty. He got them. It was 3rd and 19. He got a 17-yard gain, good enough to go in the fourth. That would have set up. That was going to be the golden shot in the end zone that Love underthrew, or that first drive. Do you remember that?
Nope, I don't.
Golden got to the end zone
Oh yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah,
fourth. Yeah,
yeah,
the play before it was 3rd and 19. Chris Brooks got like this little check down pass,
yeah,
and he got them 17 yards to go for it on fourth down and try for that shot.
yeah,
Like that was pretty remarkable. Again, a guy that I just said like he doesn't move the needle for me. He's a fine player. Like everybody has their uses, and I understand the value that he brings in pass pro, but to me, it's like he just doesn't bring juice on the ball. A play like that tonight certainly raised my eyebrows, to say the least.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like I think again, it's a bit player in this within this offense, but there are things and wrinkles that I am intrigued by. Even if I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say this offensive performance is probably like a 6.5. Like
Yeah,
there's things that are still maddening with maybe just play calling or sequencing and like the run game as a whole that are just like it's not there and it's fine that it's not there. But like you know, there are a lot of things that like the explosive plays are masking things that haven't been up to speed in other departments.
right. Zach Cruz just tweeted this a couple minutes ago. Uh, Packers offense was a little disjointed, but Love missed Golden on what should have been a TD, as you mentioned. Had two 90-yard touchdown drives, set up a missed field goal before the half on a great catch by Dontavian Wicks. Had a drive stall inside the 5-yard line, and they immediately responded to the Washington touchdown with a touchdown of their own. Uh, they're close to scoring 35 plus a game. Like they just got to get into a rhythm.
That's the belief.
They just got to get into a rhythm, and they'll be just fine. And even then, like again, it's been not ugly, but it's been like Zach said, disjointed. That comes with shaking the rust off. People forget. People gotta remember, Jordan Love didn't practice with the ones for 3 weeks out of training camp.
I don't think that is the source of the disjointedness, though.
What do you think it is?
I do think it's the run game.
Yeah, it hasn't been good.
It has not been good, and with the caveat of they were down two of their starting offensive linemen from last week. No
Yeah,
Aaron Banks, no Zach Tom. I mean, Zach Tom is an anchor on that offensive line. So
I mean,
it just felt
even then, Josh Jacobs had 23 carries, 84 yards on a touchdown tonight. Like that's a grind for 84 yards. That's just
it's
about
a grind.
3.7 yards per carry, but it's not a bad output.
No, I would say
It hasn't been easy as it was last year.
no. And I think if a lot of the the kind of rushing yards over expected, or like the fact that Josh Jacobs did a lot of his work after contact.
Yeah.
I think we're through the first 2 weeks, we're kind of seeing that fall back down to earth.
Yeah.
I I mean, obviously too, like I think teams are really going to sell out to make sure that he's not going and to make Love have to work to make, I mean, it's really any opposing quarterback, like not named Patrick Mahomes or
Right.
Lamar Jackson, or whatever. Like other teams are going to try to have Jordan Love prove it. And how do you control a game in which your run game, 1 out of 3 play running plays are you considered successful or
Hmm.
working in tandem with your passing offense? I don't know because I think part of it is like Jordan Love, like Dusty Evely, I just saw him tweet out that his average depth of target is 14.5 yards. So like they are airing it out.
Hmm.
There's no middle ground. If there's something that is kind of giving to middle ground, it is the run game, but it's not working as successfully as I think a lot of people would have anticipated going into this season. So finding that middle ground in how explosive the passing offense can be and how seamless the running game can be. It's more of just like when you get past the scripted plays, I feel like I really noticed it tonight. When you're airing out on a 1st and 10 and you don't complete the pass, where do you go from there? Where do you go from there? Like if you're pinned back on your side of the field, or there's a lot of variables. It's football. This is why it's so interesting to talk about because you have 11 people working different roles at the same time. But I it I just felt like once we got past the scripted plays tonight, like things just felt off kilter that you could see Matt LaFleur's brain working in like 7 different ways.
Right.
What is so funny?
A,
What do
a,
you see?
a dumb tweet. Dumb.
We'll put it up on the
I
screen.
can't put up on the screen.
Okay.
Um, for what it's worth, the average yards per carry for Josh Jacobs tonight would have been his third lowest last year. He had a couple of games where he had pretty low attempts on low yardage as well. The Titans game is one of them. Um, so it hasn't come together yet. It might just be one of those things where, like, if Jordan Love keeps dicing up defenses like this, that they might just have to sell up for Jordan Love, and maybe that does open up more for Josh Jacobs, you know?
Yeah.
So here's the hope that that happens. But, like, I'm not concerned about Josh Jacobs yet because they're going to keep running the ball. And part of it, too, is, like, they will keep running the ball. And if they have the lead, they can. I think it was Zach or it might have been Andy Herman said, or had a tweet that was like, this is why you stick with the run game even if it isn't going that well, because on the Tucker Kraft touchdown, it's a play action fake to Josh Jacobs up the middle, and the entire Commanders team sold out for the run, and
Yeah.
then Tucker Kraft's wide open to to catch a touchdown and take a Lambo leap Jordan right into the stands.
Hmm.
Uh Last guy we haven't talked about yet that we need to talk about briefly. Romeo Dobbs, another good game from him. Catches another touchdown. Uh, has 3 catches for, I believe, 23, 28 yards. 3 catches on 5 targets. With the Jayden Reed injury, we can throw all the trading Romeo midseason talk out the window. We talked about it, I don't think any on our preview pod, but there was a report from, I think, Easton Butler or somebody that said that teams had a standing offer with Green Bay on Romeo Dobbs. Not going to happen anymore, which good because they need him. Honestly, he's a surefire receiver and has come into this season with a lot of emotion. Like, remember that Tyler, was it Tyler Dune? That's his name?
Done.
Dunn, Tyler Dunn. That feature from him last year where he's like just stoic faced Romeo Dobbs and that's just how he is. That is
Hmm.
not how he is this season. He's showing emotion on every single catch, including that touchdown that he caught.
Yeah. I mean, Marshawn Lattimore looked like a JV cornerback trying to chase after a varsity guy. Like it was
Yeah,
remarkable. Like even like it was a kind of a simple route to break him on the touchdown pass, but Marshawn Lattimore opened his hips so wide that like Romeo Dobbs was like, "Yep, that's 6."
that's
It,
six.
it, It's yeah, he's looking really good. I also want to shout out Dontavian Wicks. He
Can catch the ball.
looked really good. He caught the ball. Like him and Dobbs were cooking on out
Mm-hmm.
routes, and it's like those are deep outs. It's at least like 10 yards. And yeah, he looked really good tonight. Like I think the he helped Jordan Love find his groove early
Agreed.
on. I mean, Jordan Love had like 200 pass yards or nearly 200 pass yards before halftime.
Yeah.
That's how dialed in he was.
Yeah. And maybe it's a factor of like this team spreads the ball around so much. That is another tweet I wanted to bring up that I haven't had a chance to yet. This is from Zach Jacobson. Packers receiving distribution through 2 weeks. Tucker Kraft is the team's leader in receptions, yards, touchdowns, and targets. 11 different players have recorded at least one reception. Chris Brooks has more targets than Matthew Golden. Not ideal in that spot. I can't scroll because there's no replies to this, so you can't see the bottom of it, but I'll just read it off. Uh, Tucker Kraft leads the team in targets with 11. Romeo Dobbs is second with 9. Dontavian Wicks is third with 8. And then it goes Chris Brooks, Jayden Reed, Matthew Golden, Luke Musgrave, and then Steven Williams, Malik Heath, Josh Jacobs, and John Fitzpatrick. Like this team is spreading it around. And one of the things I was going to talk about just now is that Dontavian Wicks got going really well in the first half, but we didn't really see him much in the second half. I'm just like wondering like why isn't that? I think it's just a factor of this team has guys that they'll throw to. They have 5, 6, 7 different guys that they'll throw the ball to, and they don't necessarily need, as despite what Richard Sherman thinks, a wide receiver one. And I think like that's we're drinking the Kool-Aid again, Jordan. That's the beauty of this offense when it clicks, but it's also like a detriment, right? Like we found out why it's so bad not to have a bona fide wide receiver one last at the end of last year. But when it clicks, when this offense works, it really works.
Yeah. Yeah, that is not going to change.
No.
As much as we think a bigger role for Tucker Kraft will be essential to kind of keep the ship steady while Jayden Reed is on the mend. Christian Watson, we'll see when he comes back. Obviously, it'll be no sooner than the bye week post, week 6,
Yep.
or I should say, earliest would be week 6. Excuse me, but yeah, it. You put it perfectly. It's what makes this offense so tantalizing, and yet it can be so frustrating at the same time when it can go from drive to drive. And I think if you can whittle away the kind of that gap, that will go a long way in terms of this offense realizing its full potential because it's gonna be a fickle thing each game, each half, each drive. So what you get out of it as the season goes along is going to be a big way in terms of like, can it meet the defense level? I don't know if it can meet how good this defense is right now, but it could certainly be an elite offense to say the least.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anything else, Jordan? Should we wrap this pod up?
Let's wrap this pod up. Brandon McManus, we might be watching you.
Slowly but surely. Also, sorry, listeners, for smacking the shit out of my microphone right there.
That's fine. There's a fly on my computer screen and it's taunting me. It's right on your face.
Oh,
And
so
I'm
you're just trying to smack it, huh? I see how it is.
no, I'm
I
just
see how it
trying
is.
to. I am not trying to do that. Jeff Goldblum is on my computer screen right
What a
now.
movie. Watched that as part of Spooktober last year?
Jurassic Park?
No, The Fly.
Oh, what?
So, all right, folks. That does it for this episode of Talk the Tundra. Thank you to everyone who joined in to our live stream on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please go do that. We'd appreciate it. Talk of the Tundra on YouTube. We'll be doing most of the late game lives here just because it's easier to put out the pods that way. So they play in Dallas in 2 weeks, I believe, on Sunday Night Football. We'll be live for that one
Mhm.
as well. If you don't want to miss that, go check it. Go, like I said, go subscribe and tune in next
Waiting
time.
all day for Sunday night. Two
Sure.
weeks from now.
2 weeks, 2.5 weeks from now. Um, we'll be back in your podcast feeds next week, probably a week from today, honestly. or a week from yesterday
Yeah.
as you're listening to this in your pod feeds Friday morning. But as we preview the game against the Bengals. In the meantime, you can go check out who?
No.
No, the Browns. The Browns.
Cleveland
Yeah.
rocks. Cleveland
Is
rocks.
it?
Cleveland rocks.
Is
Bengals
it?
are week 6. Browns are week 3.
Thank you. And then Dallas week 4.
Yep.
I want to make sure I have
Week
that.
5? Who do they got week 5?
Week 5 is their bye.
Tricked you.
Tricked. Um, but in the meantime, you can go check out Cruising for a Bruising for all things Brewers. You can go check out Eurostep for the latest in Eurobasket for Greece as Giannis and company have a chance to win a medal at Eurobasket this year. They face Finland, I think, today, as you'll say, is at 1 o'clock. So I'm sure
Turkey.
They did. Finland's the other team on the other side.
Gotcha.
Um, I'm sure Ty and Rohan will have something on that as they've been watching intently there. So appreciate all of you listening. Like I said, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would really appreciate it. Thank you for listening and staying up late with us. Jordan, thank you.
Thank you.